Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or if you have any other significant Capricorn placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Capricorn, to start off, I'm getting this message of extracting a venom. That's how it was coming through to me. So it can come in a couple of different ways. The first way that it was coming through was that, like, if extracting a venom from yourself, right? So it could be that you're like cleansing your energy in some way, removing something that is not yours. For example, it could be something about also like healing a wound, right? Like, because healing a wound, not only like there's this energy of like how do I describe? Okay, so it's kind of coming through like in Harry Potter, where, for example, like Harry, when he was a child, of course, was Voldemort like killed his family and all of this horrible stuff. But a piece of Voldemort's soul got lodged in Harry's energy, and that piece of Voldemort's soul actually gave him like special like magical abilities, like being able to, like, for example, speak parcel tongue, which is like the ability to speak to snakes, which was like uniquely a gift of Voldemort and other sort of Slytherin energies. But after Harry removed that piece of himself, or like piece of Voldemort from his soul at the end of the series, he lost that ability, right? Because that wasn't really actually something that belonged to him. It was something that belonged to Voldemort, the person who had harmed him. So it's kind of coming through like that, Capricorn, where you're extracting a venom from yourself, a piece of Voldemort's soul, so to speak. And in the process, there may be actually kind of like a loss of something, because you are like, it wasn't that whatever it is that's being lost, perhaps, is actually something that, like, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, like belonged to the person who harmed you, if that makes sense. So it's kind of coming through like that, Capricorn, which is an interesting message. So just paying attention to that, because you may be extracting a venom from yourself, and that actually does come with a loss, which is interesting. I don't know how you might be feeling about that, but just being aware of how that comes through for you. I'm also getting extracting a venom could also be in, like, I was seeing like, you know how when they have like snakes, the venomous snakes, a lot of snake energy, and the mouth is really coming through. So being conscious of like how you speak, what you're saying, if there's any bite to it, just being conscious of that. Anyways, so like extracting a venom from a snake, like, you know how they put like the teeth in like a jar and then they press, like extracting venom for some reason is coming through like that. So anyways, I'm gonna pull cards. Maybe you're making an antidote, right? That's how it's feeling. Okay. Interesting. The Maiden. Huh. Not expecting that one at all. And then you have Arvel the Parrot at the bottom of the deck, which does talk about, it talks about communication, right? So the throat chakra and also the third eye is coming in very strongly. Interesting, though, the Maiden is coming out. This came out in the Libra reading, so maybe that one has a message in there for you, which is interesting because Libra is a square to you. But I was kind of getting, Capricorn, that you're connecting more with like joy and fun, which is kind of how it's coming through with this one. Like, a very innocent sort of joy is how that's feeling with the Maiden. Perhaps like being restored to innocence. It is coming through with like a Page of Cups kind of energy. And right now as I'm filming this, the moon is in Cancer, which also feels significant to you because there's a lot of this cardinal energy coming through because you are a cardinal sign, like some sort of new beginning. I just heard the word spontaneous, like spontaneous joy. Like there may be just like moments where you're just suddenly feeling really happy, or that like things are working out or something like that. And that, I feel like that is part of the like extracting the venom process. Very interesting. I'm actually feeling drawn to sort of like these like lights, the lights at the top there, like little orbs. I feel like you have like spirits or entities sort of around you at the moment. I don't know necessarily if they're guides, but it kind of feels just like energies that are being drawn to this spontaneous joy within you. Interesting. It could also be related to animals as well. Like animals may be particularly drawn to you at this time. Or they may be like a significant sign or something like that. Okay. I'm also feeling called to use the Mystical Moments Tarot. Because I was seeing the Devil card in this deck. Interesting. 8 of Wands is the first card coming out. That's good news. I feel like that's movement. And it's also kind of like this energy of spontaneous joy. Because it's also feeling kind of like a wind gust, right? Like a wind gust moves you up in some way, or like uplifts you. I'm hearing like a mechanism or a contraption. Like there may be something about like tools or machinery that's coming through, which is really interesting. Because this card comes through with this energy of air and fire, right? Because wands, of course, is fire, but it's a very air image. Air and fire. Again, more air with the Libra energy. So maybe I do feel like that Libra reading might have a message in there for you. Which is interesting because it's coming through with like umbrella, right? An umbrella, which normally, of course, we associate umbrella with like rain, right? But it feels different for you. I almost said Sagittarius, Capricorn, where I feel like there's something where it was kind of coming through as like hot, like steam, like that kind of thing, steam being used to power something, like a steam engine. But it was also coming through as like letting the steam out. Like, so interesting. Like a steam engine. Perhaps there's something about emotions that are driving you forward, but in a way that feels very like spontaneous and free, actually. It's because the moon is in Cancer, that is your opposite energy. There's a lot of cardinal energy though in your reading right now. Cancer, Capricorn, Libra. We'll see if there's an Aries connection as well, but there's something here about like I feel like you're starting something new, Capricorn, because you are you are the cardinal earth sign, right? So it talks about, like, how I see that is perhaps it is like a steam engine, like you're moving forward. You're chugging along is how it's coming through. But perhaps there's something about your emotions that is key to that, that's helping to move that along. But also, of course, there's coming in this energy of like fire and air, which are feeling more like opportunities is how it's coming through. Like finding the right opportunity, waiting for the right opportunity. Perhaps you're finding like a new way to blow off steam is how it's coming through. Something like that. Okay, interesting. So you have Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Five of Pentacles, but I'm not going to take them. Yeah, the Hermit. The Hermit. More Virgo energy. And the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. This is a message I've never received for this Hermit. It's waiting for the tide to come in, is how it's feeling to me. Because it's kind of like, I feel like there's something here about like feeling, I don't want to say stuck. I don't want to say stuck because I feel like it's not about stuck. It's about a timeout is how it's feeling. There's something about, perhaps there's something in your life where it's like taking a time out from something. Because it's kind of like during a low tide, right? There's this energy of like becoming stranded on the shore, that kind of thing. But that perhaps there was something divine about that chance encounter, or something about like, because the Hermit talks about like seeking clarity or finding healing or going within. There's something about like being like a fish out of water, or like being outside of your comfort zone, that is bringing about clarity or illumination for you. And then, so maybe you have gotten that. If not yet, then soon. And it's like the tide will return, right? It will go back to high tide at some point. And then you can go back into like wherever it is that you are meant to be. But it feels like there's a temporary reprieve was just the word that I heard. A temporary like break from something. A temporary like feeling like fish out of water, or that you're not in your comfort zone, in order to gain some clarity about something. But the tide is returning. I don't know when that will be for you or what that symbolizes. There's also something about like again, water is coming through very strongly, like a Cancerian energy, emotional energy, with the moon as well. But it's a parasol. It's not an umbrella, right? It's it's what you would use to keep the sun, like to keep the shade on a sunny day, which is interesting. It's not to keep the rain away, it's to keep the sun away. Interesting. Are you trying to there's an energy of protecting yourself from something, but it's not rain. Very interesting. I am feeling kind of like this energy of isolation with the Hermit. It doesn't feel quite like isolation. It feels more like taking a time out, Capricorn. Or getting a break from something. Okay, interesting. The Maiden was really unexpected. I feel like there's something about a new beginning for you that is unexpected. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you have fire, volcano, sun, water, lake, and moon, and then water, river, star. Yeah. This is feeling like a Kundalini awakening. I'm going to read it. There is a whole world inside of you that is pulsing and throbbing and aching for expression. What are you waiting for, child? Release the limitations that are holding you back from expressing the fullness of your majesty and your uniqueness. Give yourself permission to be the empowered leader that you are without submission, guilt, or shame. You didn't come to this planet to dim your light or quiet your voice or be an obedient little sheep. Just because the people surrounding you are playing small doesn't mean you're supposed to follow them. You, my dear, are meant to show them a better way, a more authentic way, a more expressed way. Lead by example. Let your creativity explode like a great and mighty volcano of love and beauty and magic. Release what is wanting to come forth and claim your role as a creator. Let this burst of creativity erupt and inspire others to do the same. Yeah, it's this energy of like I feel like there's actually like this like fiery energy with the yeah, it's feeling fiery for you Capricorn. I do see Capricorn as being more of a fiery earth sign because Capricorn gets things moving, right? Capricorn is like a steam engine, which is interesting. Because I feel like there's something here about like your passion, maybe your creativity, your fire, some sort of inspiration that I feel like you're keeping protected or under wraps is how it's feeling. Like it's like I just heard don't want to fly too close to the sun, right? It's kind of coming through like that, which is interesting. That's interesting because like with the myth of Icarus, right? Flying too close to the sun. There's something about like maybe you're being cautious about something that feels like the sun, right? Which is interesting because I feel like you're protecting yourself from that a little bit. Interesting. I feel like that is wise, Capricorn. That is wise. Okay. So, water, lake, moon. We earthlings perceive the moon by way of the sunlight reflecting off its surface, just as shamans gather visions and insights from the moonlight reflected upon the lakes and rivers. It's time to pause and reflect. Step into stillness and rest there, contemplating all that has been and all that you aspire to be. The deeper you are willing to delve into yourself, the more insights you will discover. Don't get sucked into the distractions of the outside world. Now is the time to go inside. Allow your attention to take the shape of the moon as your innermost being becomes the waters upon which it is reflected. Can you sit patiently in the silence and allow the insights to make themselves known and to guide you on your journey? which is interesting because that's coming out under the Maiden. And I feel like there's something about like a new beginning in terms of your innermost self is how it's feeling to me. There's this very significant moon energy and reflections coming in. I just got like a weird tickle in my throat. There's something about excuse me. Maybe there's a significant Cancerian energy that's reflecting something to you. There's something here as well, because I feel like these are very different energies, right? Just like the way that they're looking. There may be something about your own fire or your own passion that you're being asked to take a deeper look at. Like going within in terms of your own passion, your own creativity, and the insights that might come from that here about your innermost being. Yeah, there's this energy here of patience though, because I feel like there is something coming in for you that is about divine timing, which how it's coming through today is that you don't know how long it's going to take for this energy to be revealed to you. The insights and the clarity is not going to come when you like on your schedule is how it's coming through. It's not going to arrive on your schedule because it's kind of like there's this feeling of like, okay, if I do all these things, if I keep chugging along, eventually I'll get clarity, which I feel like is true, but it might be something where it's like, it's going to be a divine timing moment. It's not going to be something where it's like, if I keep doing this, I'll get clarity on that day specifically, or like, it's coming through like that, especially with the Hermit, right? You have to wait for the high tide. There's so much moon energy in this reading. You have to wait for the high tide to come in for something. Or is that a blue jay? I've been seeing blue jays in the backyard. Anyways, sorry. Okay, I'm going to read this card. But I feel like there's actually something about the low tide that is significant. Interesting. Because I was talking about like you're waiting for the high tide is how it feels, Capricorn. You're waiting for the high tide, but there's something about the low tide that is significant in terms of finding clarity about something else is how it's feeling. So, be patient with where you are, because if you are waiting for something to come in, there is clarity to be had where you are at the moment, right? There's something for you there. It might not be what you're expecting, or because it kind of feels like this new beginning is tied to where it is you are that you feel stuck in. There's something new there for you. Where you are quote unquote stuck in, right? There's something new there that you are meant to see. So it's kind of like if the high tide comes in before you, well, that's the thing. I don't think the high tide will come in until you see what this is, what this new beginning is for you. The high tide is not, the tide, I should say, the tide is not going to come in until you've seen this new beginning. Interesting. So that's sort of where the divine timing comes in. Divine timing is going to happen when you have seen the new beginning, whatever that is for you. Okay, I'm going to read this card because it has a really interesting image. Number 27. Abundance isn't a destination or a BMW or a bunch of commas in your bank account. Abundance is a current of energy that you claims... Sorry, I'm going to start again. Abundance is a current of energy that you claim by knowing you are it, and that you are worthy of receiving all that you already are. You, my dear, are standing upon the threshold of great love and blessings. You have worked hard and endured so much to have finally arrived at this spiritual doorway. In order to pass through it, you must know the truth of this current. You must know in your heart and in your soul and in your bones that abundance is the very fabric of this dimensional plane, and that it is not possible for it to ever run dry. Only when you know and embody this fundamental universal truth can you then walk through this doorway of bounty and sustenance and receive what is rightfully yours. Yeah. Interesting. Because it's kind of coming through as being like you're waiting for your abundance. And what it's saying, Capricorn, is that you are abundance. That it's feeling like there's this energy of like not seeing some aspect of your abundance, whatever that means to you. And that you are on the threshold, it feels like. You're on the threshold. Abundance is all around you, but I feel like you're not seeing it that way. You're not seeing it that way, or you're not seeing the potential that is around you is how it's coming through. Like, because I feel like there's this energy here of wanting the abundance to look a certain way, or to like be in a specific form, right? Like for example, it doesn't have to be this for you, like wanting your abundance to be in the form of money or in the form of a new car or status in some way. And I feel like there's something here about like, because you're not seeing the abundance in those particular forms that you associate with abundance, it's feeling separate from you, right? Because I don't have a new car. I don't have a lot of money in my bank account. Like that kind of energy of feeling like lack, like feeling like you're separate from something, feeling like you are detached from the tide, when what it's saying to you, Capricorn, is that you are abundance. You are abundance. And that it's all around you. It's a matter of shifting your mindset, because I feel like where you are right now, especially if you're feeling stuck or separate or like not abundant or, you know, whatever, there's this energy here of like you're not seeing the joy or the it could be something about creativity, right? Like the potential, the creativity, a new beginning in something. I'm just seeing like you're surrounded by resources is how it's coming through, but resources that are maybe not your preferred form of creativity, though. That's the thing. I feel like there's something new that is wanting to be explored in this place that you're in. Because I'm kind of seeing like a cave of treasures. That's what I'm seeing. A cave of treasures. It is kind of coming through with a bit of like The Little Mermaid. Interesting, Capricorn, because I feel like you're not the Little Mermaid. I feel like there's this energy here where the Little Mermaid, right? Like she has that like that grove, is that what it's called? Like a cave of treasures that she's collected that to an outside influence might look like junk, right? Or trash. But like she puts so much value in all of these little things that she's collected, right? I actually am feeling, no offense, Capricorn, you're a bit coming through as being more of like a Triton energy, like the king energy, her father, where it's like, this could be a dynamic with you and your inner child, for example, if it's not another person, but it is kind of coming through with here, like the maiden, right? A child aspect. So if it's not like your literal child, it could be an inner child. It could just be like somebody, or it doesn't even have to be a person. It feels very much not like a person. It feels like an inner aspect of self where it's like you're surrounded by treasure, but you're not seeing it that way because it's kind of coming through as being like what you value, like how you place value on things. And maybe your value or like the way that you measure value is coming from something where it's more like an external validation kind of energy, like having a lot of money, having status, having like a brand new car, good brands, like that kind of thing, which is very Capricorn, of course. There's no judgment on that, right? That is part of how we live. But there is something here about like, if you don't have those things, Capricorn, does that mean that you have no value? And of course, the answer to that would be, of course not. You still have value, even if you don't have those things that society deems as being valuable, right? Like, it's kind of coming through like that. I feel like if you are feeling stuck or whatever it is, like separate from abundance, there's something here about like, reestablishing or reworking or getting a new perspective on what value means to you. What is valuable to you truly. And it could be something tied to like this maiden energy. Whatever that is to you. That's for you to discover, right? Like that, whatever it is that you value. I feel like there's a new beginning in that as well. Yeah. Land, flower, sun. This card talks about removing programmed beliefs, right? Like something about like okay, I'm just gonna read it. It's a return to innocence, like before you learned all the things that like society teaches us is like valuable, so to speak, in quotations. Okay. The grass and the flowers and the butterflies are waiting for you. They are beckoning you to run barefoot through their blades, to delight in their fragrant blossoms, and to chase their brightly colored flapping wings. They miss how you used to play together when you were a child, back before you were indoctrinated to behave like a grown-up, whatever that means. Back before you got all self-conscious about who might see you rolling through the meadow, getting grass stains on your pants while you laughed and squealed and giggled. Let the child inside of you be wild and run free. Allow yourself to be formless and open, aware and unself-conscious. Put aside your judgments and your responsibilities. Now is the time for you to dance barefoot in nature and to allow the abundance of the natural world to remind you what prosperity truly is. It's Capricorn. Because I actually feel like there may actually be some form of material loss for you. It's uncomfortable. Because I feel like if there were any energies here of you were, or if you were like, how do I phrase this? Because I feel like you're in this at the moment. It's not that something that I'm predicting happening for you. I feel like if this is your reading, you've already experienced this in some way, a loss of something, right? And it could be in terms of material or resource-based things that you may be losing because there may have been an association with those things to your personal, individual soul value, like how you value yourself, which is not coming from an external thing such as resources or how much you have in terms of money or status or things. It's coming from this energy of like your inner child aspect, or if it's not that, like your natural abundance is how it's coming through. Something that feels very natural and forgotten is how it's feeling to me. Forgotten. Because I also feel like there's something about like how it connects back to earth, the earth, or nature, or something like that. And like cycles, right? There's a lot of energy of cycles here, especially with the moon, like cycles of loss, cycles of gain. There's kind of that energy that's coming through, cycles of loss and cycles of gain, right? Like the seasons where the leaves do fall from the tree, right? There is a sort of like a stagnation period, and then there's abundance again. Because I feel like there's something here about like I'm gonna pull more cards. You might be in a cycle of loss at the moment, Capricorn. I know that sounds bad, but I feel like it is showing you something. So you have this one here. Land, animal, moon. It feels bad. I understand that. It feels bad. But I feel like that's part of extracting the venom. That's how it's coming through. Okay. If you truly want to connect with animals, and trust me, you do, you're going to need to do so through your emotions. Animals have a lot of wisdom to share. They may not speak in your tongue, but they do speak through feelings. Animals are not intellectual beings, they are emotional beings. It is only when you align your feelings with the animals that you will truly be able to understand them. So take some time to observe the animals in your environment. Do not analyze, for this is not an intellectual exchange. This is an emotional exchange. Observe the animal and then observe the feelings that arise in you as you do. See your reflection through the emotions of this magnificent creature. This practice will allow you to understand the animal at a profound level, as well as to understand the nature of spirit and of the earth as well, because they too communicate with the language of vibration and feeling. Interesting. So whenever the animal cards come out, of course there's a sea turtle on this card. A sea turtle, which is interesting because this is a land card, earth, but it connects to water and emotions. So I feel like that's really important for you. There's something about your emotional state, especially if it feels bad or difficult or tough, that is showing you something about like your natural animal magic is how it's feeling to me. Your natural animal magic, because there may be a particular animal totem that is calling to you right now. It probably is not going to be the sea turtle, but just like if you meditate on it, there may be an animal that comes through for you that may be revealing something to you about something that needs to be integrated, perhaps an aspect of yourself that needs attention, an aspect of yourself that is calling for you to tap into more or to nurture or to pay attention to, is how it's coming through. Because the root chakra is really highlighted here, so it feels kind of like things like your physical environment, right? Your physical environment may be going through a bit of a shift right now. It could also be tied to your body as well, like your physical vessel as well. There may be sort of things coming through there as well that are showing you something about your emotional state, or your emotions, or things that need to be moved through your emotions. Yeah, another animal card. Land, animal, sun. This card talks about play. Yesterday's reading, what was that one? Leo also had this card in the same position. I feel like there is something arriving, Capricorn, for you. And it feels kind of playful. It feels playful, which is interesting. It feels fun. Because I do feel like there's this heaviness in your energy, Capricorn, like especially in terms of like your physical environment or like physical resources. There's a heaviness there, but in another aspect, there's all of this play, joy, which is interesting because I feel like it's kind of coming through as being like for example, with children, they can find something to be happy about in any situation. I feel like there's something about like laughter or playfulness that is coming in for you. I feel like to help lift your spirits, but it doesn't feel like it's something that is tied to material is how it's coming through, or resources. It feels very much more like your individual self, particularly your body, but that depends on you as well. It's coming through with a lot of movement, actually. Okay, I'm going to pull one card for the center. Yeah. Fire, candle, star. I love this image so much because it reminds me of in the Elementals deck, there's a card called Magnetism, Attraction, which looks sort of like a child staring at some sort of light energy. It looks a lot like that card if you're familiar with that deck. But anyways, I'm going to read this one. Creativity exists in the realm of the unknown, and the unknown is a realm of darkness as well as of great mystery. Do not be afraid of the dark. The darkness has secrets to share and paths to illuminate and treasures to gift you. When night falls and the world stills and your mind quiets, it is time for you to awaken and to embark upon a journey of discovery. The darkness is beckoning you. There you will tap into new knowledge and undiscovered creativity. There, in the still of night, you will find magic waiting for you. Be brave, love. Be bold. Trust that the spirits are holding you because they are. Yeah. There's something arriving, Capricorn, for you that I feel like you're not seeing. Interesting, because you're focused on something else, right? So it could be that you are doing like shadow work. You're doing shadow work. You're integrating some aspect of your shadow, but there's something coming in that's unexpected. Is how it's feeling, like from an unexpected source. That's how it feels. An unexpected source that I feel like is going to like create a new connection or something like that. Like, because it feels kind of like it's it's going to feel natural to you, which is interesting. It's going to feel natural to you, but it may not be something that your logical mind accepts. That's how it's coming through. I feel like in terms of like how you feel, though, your emotional state, it's going to feel natural or good, but your mind, your logical mind, your ego maybe, might not accept it right away. That's how it's coming through. So just keeping that in mind, Capricorn, but I am going to leave the reading there. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.